Well, good morning and hello, everyone. Welcome back to the daily challenge for Illustrator here on Adobe Live. Yay! That's all I got. That was not. It was kind of worth it. It was worth it in my heart. That's the real takeaway here. I had fun with it and I loved it. So welcome back to our daily creative challenges. We are on, I believe, our third day of daily creative challenges, and we are going to be doing something that is highly requested today. We are making a logo, and more than just showing you how to make a logo, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the ideal behind a logo. We're going to talk about semiotics, which is going to be so fun. It's going to be interesting, a little bit different. And yes, give him a hand. And thank you, Carol. Some familiar faces in chat. Carol, this shirt is by Rick Villa. He's a designer in LA. He was on Project Runway, and I love his work, so I'm wearing it. Barbara's here. Hello, you made it for the live stream. Welcome. This is a great place for you to step up and learn some new stuff about Adobe Illustrator and to get involved in the community. My name is Andrew Hochradel. I am your personal trainer and your guide over the next 2 weeks. And if you want to follow along here, I go live on my Behance just about every night to give you feedback on your daily challenges, to help you level up, make some changes, maybe do some revisions. You can follow along just hoch.co here on Behance. You also can follow along on Instagram. Wade is about to drop those links. Boom, boom. Thanks, Wade. And yes, you can just call me Hoch if it's easier. I know it's a doozy of a last name. So let's hop in and start talking about what we will be working on today. And yes, word of the day is semiotics. It is the study of signs and symbols. It's visual communication to its fullest. So let's tell you how you can get involved. You can jump in right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. This is the place that you'll be posting your challenges, that you'll be connecting with the community and getting feedback from our incredible mentors. Let's hop over there and take a look at some of the awesome work that is coming out of there. Greg Wolf just posted hers about 5 minutes ago, doing his daily creative challenge from yesterday. Warping and playing with type. An amazing job, Kiki, playing with this type. You're doing a great job. Absolutely love what's happening here. You followed the lesson well, and you did a fun little story with it as well. So make sure that you do that, and we will do some more challenge reviews tonight. We will be on at, I believe, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, I'll be hanging out. Come hang out with us. Also, another way that you can get involved, and if you're in Discord and you're like, I don't know what to post, that's because you haven't gotten the source files yet. If you want to follow along with us during these daily creative challenges, you can go right here to behance.net/challenge/illustrator Wade drop. Thanks for the link. You can drop right there and you can get notified by clicking this button every day that we go live that there's a new challenge. And you also can download the source files for each day. Today's source file you don't really need. It'd be helpful and it'd be nice for you to work on. It just gives you an artboard, some direction. There's not a lot of assets on this today because we're going to be making them from scratch. Super fun. So you can go there and download our source files to get involved. And someone asked this, if you want to catch up on daily creative challenges, maybe you missed one from last week, you can scroll to the bottom of this page and look at all these challenges that they have for you, right? There is an eternal amount of challenges dating back to, I don't know, literally forever ago. So you can check those out and look at all the daily creative challenges. If you want to catch up, you can just drop those in Discord and let us know which one you are doing. Also, if you're posting on Behance, make sure you use the hashtag #AIDailyChallenge, and you can get featured in the Creative Challenges gallery. So that'd be cool to have a little feature on Behance for you for these daily creative challenges. Have some fun with them, try to do some good work, and then maybe even post a case study of what's happening there. So I think that is it for the announcements. Today, we are going to show you how to create a logo. We're going to look at using the Pathfinder tool, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the different kinds of logos. And if we have time, we might get into some neon today. Neon is my extra credit that I'm just saving because we're doing kind of an 80s workout theme. I want to do neon, so if we get to it today, great. If not, we'll come back to it, another challenge, and give you some time to learn. So with that said, let's hop in and join Andrew. Let's join Hoch in Hoch's gym. I'll be right back, and let me give him a quick call, and we'll make sure that it's here. Hey, Hoch, can you come in real quick? Oh, hey, Hawk. Yeah, I'll be right there. Oh, hey, everybody. King of segues, guys. That's where we are today. That's what you get for that segue. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be talking about the different kinds of logos. So logos can be three different things. They can be icons, indexes, or symbols. Okay, icons, indexes, or symbols. And you can take notes on this. You can rewatch it. But an icon is something that looks like what it represents, right? So an icon for a bird is literally an illustration of a bird. And we're going to show you all these as we work through making logos today. The next is an index. And an index, we've talked about this a lot in our challenges, gives information. So indexes can be colors, but they also can be shapes, like a stop sign. Like an octagon means that it is a stop sign. Doing lines might mean that it has motion. So doing those things are indexes. If you're working with a symbol is something that is just understood within a cultural context. And yes, we're talking semiotics. So a symbol is something that's understood within a cultural context, has no meaning other than what you inform that to be. So let's hop over into Illustrator and start talking through what these three kind of look like and how they work. So let's pop on over. There we go. And talk about our challenge today. So our challenge today is to create a logo for a fitness program using basic shapes and type tools. Now, today we are focusing on having good form, not reps. So we are going to make three different versions, but we're focusing on having good form and visually communicating well instead of just doing a whole bunch of logos that are kind of willy-nilly. So the first option that we're going to do is a symbol. Y'all, I spelled something right for the first time ever when I typed it. Yes. It's a win today. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a symbol. And a symbol is something that is understood within a context. So it's just understood within, let's say cultural context. So something that doesn't really have any meaning on its own. It is just kind of understood for some reason. So an example of a symbol would be like the Nike swoosh, right? So today we're going to be making a logo for our company, which is going to be like a fitness gym. So what I want to do is I'm going to make a kettlebell. So let's start with the kettlebell, kind of doing the simples. As we know that when we think about simple shapes, kettlebell is really a circle with like a rectangle that's been rounded, right? So circle with a rectangle that's been rounded. So we're going to go ahead and make that circle first. And here I'm grabbing the ellipse tool and I'm just clicking in the center and then I'm dragging out. So if I drag out, you'll see that it does it from the corner and it does it kind of oblong. If we hold shift, it will do that so that it scales proportionally. And if we hold alt or option, it will scale from the center. So I usually do it from the center just because that's how I know that I want it. So we got that in there. And next we're going to want to do a rectangle. And you'll see that it's very easy to build logos using very simple shapes. So we're going to do a rectangle. And if we think about it, right, it's just kind of coming down for that handle. These two need to align. So we're going to collect both of them. And we are going to see how there's a thicker border around this top one. We want to click on the bottom shape and that thicker border is around there. And that just makes it the key object. And the key object is what we are aligning to. So when we align to the key object of that circle, we're going to hit up here. We're going to hit align center in our alignments. And there we go. Now it's aligned to the center. Now the kettlebell has a little bit of an outward kind of move. And this is where we start to take those simple shapes and evolve them into something that is a little more complicated. So let's grab the direct selection tool. And instead of just leaving these as simple shapes, we're going to grab the top 2 points of this rectangle. It's almost a square, this rectangle. And I'm going to grab the scale tool. So just hitting S or going over here to scale, which is right over here on the window. And I can actually click and drag or I can hit enter. We'll do enter just to show you this because I like it. So we hit enter and it will bring up this dialog box. And this dialog box is giving us options. And you'll see that it's just transforming these top 2 points. So as we start to do this and scale them up, they are going to move outward. And that's what we want. We want to get that nice little kettlebell shape kind of scaling out. So we're going to hit OK. And I actually want these two to be a little more at perspective. So we'll select the bottom 2 as well. Just hit S for scale and hit enter. And then I have a live view. There we go. And you can pull them in just like that. So we'll hit OK. And there we go. Now we've got the base of our kettlebell shape. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this to outlines. So I can do that by hitting the little arrows over here next to our color panel, or hit Shift X, and that will flip it to outlines. Also, if you're watching, let me know where you are in the world. It's always fun to know where you're watching from. So put in chat where you're watching, and it'll make me smile. So we will go ahead and take the stroke on this up a bit. We want it to be a little bit thicker. There we go. And now you can see very simply the two shapes that we're using. Now I'm going to save this. I'm just going to click and drag a copy over to the side. And this is where we start to change and make this into a symbol. So right now it looks like a kettlebell, right? So this would be an icon of a kettlebell, and we'll get back there. Actually, let's talk about that. We'll get back there. So this would be an icon. We'll come back to that. So a symbol maybe representing our fitness journey or our fitness place. This would be something that you see in logos, right? Like the Nike swoosh. And so a symbol example would be to maybe make this all one shape. So we can select these two, and we'll come over here with the Pathfinder tool and just click on join. There we go. And so now we've got kind of this shape that represents something like that. But what if we get really weird with it? Let's delete this using the direct selection tool. We're going to delete this side right here. And we're also going to delete this side over here. And we're going to grab by using the pen tool and just connect this side. Lots of people, Denver, Bay Area, San Lorenzo. Yes, nice. Toronto, all over the world, Minnesota. So we are starting here and then connecting this edge. There we go. And then let's grab this point and this little node right here, just round it out so that we have a smooth curve. And so this is something that maybe we make this a bit more chunky, right? And maybe this limit over here, we take the limit down so we have, there we go, a little more of an edge. So there we go. So now this is a great example of a symbol, right? This could be something that you'd see on fitness gear, that you'd see in a shop, that you'd see in a commercial, that wouldn't mean anything, right? It wouldn't mean anything at all other than like it's kind of just a shape. This is a symbol. It's something that's understood within a cultural context. Now, the next one that we're going to look at is an icon. An icon is very easy. An icon is what it looks like. So an icon looks like what it is. Looks like what it is. And an icon, we'll delete this, is going to be this kettlebell. So looking at this, let's start using the Pathfinder tool again to make a little bit more. You can also select two anchor points, and plus, yes, you can do that to join them. So let's move a little bit more to make this into more of an icon so that it looks like what it is. So what I want to do is with this top shape, I'm actually going to make this super thick so we can have a really thick line for our kettlebell. There we go. And now what I want, excuse me, what I'm going to look at is I'm actually going to fill this with white just to see how our shapes are looking. There we go. So we're looking pretty good, like a kettlebell, right? We need a little more space there maybe for the hands. So let's pull this up a little bit. There we go. So again, we're just using these two very simple shapes to create this kettlebell. Up top here, we want this to be rounded a little bit. So here's a little trick. And hello from India. You can grab these anchor points that are here and just go ahead and round them out by clicking those little white nodes. And you'll see that it's rounding it out. Now we've got a really nice kettlebell that feels right to me. But something that always happens with a kettlebell is they always have a flat bottom. So I'm going to do a rectangle and just put it across the bottom here so that I have that flat bottom. Now, the easiest way to do this is to select these two shapes. And when we're using the Pathfinder, think of it as a hole punch, right? We're using the Pathfinder tool right over here. You can also go to Window and Pathfinder. And yes, I had some pre-workout. Yes, just chewed on it. Absolutely. And you can do that to where you have the top object is now going to punch out of the bottom object, right? Think of it as a hole punch, or like if you're scrapbooking some kind of stamp, that it is going to punch out that bottom. And now we have that flat of the of the Pathfinder right there. So now we have our nice shape, and this is an icon for a kettlebell because it looks like what it is. It looks like a kettlebell. Super easy. And so let's just go ahead and leave this one here. Sorry, I'm doing that right into the mic. I got just a little bit of phlegm for some reason, just phlegming on back there. All right, the last one that we're going to look at is an index, and then we'll move into putting some type on this. So an index gives information or instruction. So maybe, oh my goodness, hold on, I'm going to take a drink of water, y'all. We're going to pull it together. Fitness. Okay. So an index is something that gives information. So maybe if we're talking about fitness and growth and momentum, we're going to use indexes of motion lines. So maybe we'll use this shape that we've had here, and we'll add some extra lines to kind of give it some movement so that it feels like maybe it's growing, right? It feels like maybe there's growth happening, or there's some kind of energy surging through this. And so I'm going to go ahead and make these down. So these are just different ways and different concepts for how to approach a logo. So this could be an idea for an index, right? We do some of these, and then let's do the same thing, on the other side. Just drag those on over. There we go. And let's fill this with some white. And there we go, right? So this feels like it is zooming up, like it has motion. And these are indexes that are giving information about what is happening to this. So those are our three logos. We've created 3 logos today, y'all. An index, an icon, and a symbol. Now let's take this icon because I think it's actually the best fitting for creating our actual logo. And let's just drag it on up here. And we have about 8 minutes, so I'm going to show you how to do some... Actually, we're going to lay out type because we said that we'll do type tools. We'll do neon another day, I promise. So what we're going to do is with this, I want to convert this just to shapes. So we're going to go to Object and Expand. Once we hit OK, you'll see that it's expanded all of these into full shapes. Now the problem is we have this white shape still that's in here. Let me make that green. So we want to punch that out again of the back. So we have the back shape that's right here that's going over. So we want to select this top shape and the back shape, and then grab our Pathfinder and just boom, punch it out. The next thing we're going to do is we are just going to do some type on a path. So we're going to make a path with an ellipse, and I want to do it so that it goes under. So it kind of starts on the side and goes under this shape. There we go. And I'm going to make a rectangle just for guides, and we can add some points to this circle using the pen tool. I'm just going to add them to where they intersect on the sides here, and use the direct selection to delete that top one. So now you can see that I have a nice little path going around this. We can grab the type tool by hitting T, and you'll see that instead of the box, it moves to a T with that little squiggly line. That's what we want. So we click here, and we're going to put in, let's put in Hawks Fitness. There we go. And what's happening, if you see here, is it is starting at this first node and then ending at this third one. And the second one in the middle here is just saying where the center of this is. So I'm going to go ahead and, drag this guide. And you can see now it's changing where it starts, right? It starts at this side, ends at this side, and the center is in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and grab, oh, I lost my center. Let's pull this to the inside. So what we can do is grab the center node right here and pull it to the inside. That's where we want it. We want it to go along that, that kind of shape on the inside, and then pull it all the way across here. So now you can see that it is sitting on the baseline, right where we want it, right? It's sitting on that line, but I want it on the center. So we're going to go to Type, Type on a Path, Type on a Path Options, and change this instead of the baseline where it's sitting. We're going to change it to the center, and you see now it centers along that spine. We're going to hit OK, and I'm just going to eyedrop this type over here. And did you know that if you eyedrop type, it keeps the formatting? Pretty cool. And so now you can see that it is on the spine of this shape, kind of pushing around, and that's what we want. We can come into our type panel, and we can extend the kerning of this so it goes out a little bit. We can make it a little bit bigger so that it keeps going all the way around. And there we go. Now we have a nice little logo that is kind of sitting around this shape. Let's actually take it down a little bit so that it goes right horizontal. There we go. Little details. So now we've got this nice little shape, and this is our logo. It is an icon, right? It looks like what it is of a kettlebell. And then we have the type that is swooping along the bottom here. So what I want you to do for your challenge is to build out maybe 3 versions of your logo. Use simple shapes because it'll be very easy, but I want you to understand the difference between an index, an icon, and a symbol. A symbol is understood within a cultural context, right? Like a plus symbol, it's just a symbol. There's no reason. And yes, join that gym, thank you. So a symbol is something that is just an abstract shape. Play around with what you can do with the pen tool and simple shapes with the Pathfinder to make something that feels like a symbol, and then help inform what it is. An icon looks like what it is. So maybe you can do a weight, maybe you can do a stretch band, maybe you can do a muscle. Let me do that one. A good option would be to do a muscle. Yeah. That was for me. That was just for me. Or do an index that gives you some information that it is growing. Maybe it's strong. Maybe it's some kind of vibration line. So play around with those 3 and see what you can create. Also, play around with some good chunky type on a path and experiment with what you can do. I promise we'll come back to neon another day. It'll be super fun, and I love doing neon. So play around with those. Tell me and show me your different versions of these logos, and maybe show me the different shapes that you've used to create those logos. Then you're going to go right here to bit.ly/AI Discord. Oh, hold on. Wait, let's do that again. You're going to go here to bit.ly/AI Discord. And I'm never going to stop. And that's where you can get involved, and you can post your daily creative challenges, where you can get feedback. There's a lot of people getting feedback and posting their challenges still today. So post your logos in here and let me know what's an icon, what's an index, and what's a symbol. And then you can also get involved, again, going and catch up to behance.net/challenge/Illustrator. That's where you can get the source files, get caught up, and get notifications every single time that we go live. Let's go ahead and hop over and look at the schedule of what's coming up. Our friend Aaron McPhee is coming up next doing some editorial design. Fun. I started design doing editorial, so that's going to be great. I'll probably tune in for a little bit of that. And then Andrea Epi is going to be doing our XD challenge this week. Kyle Webster is here later during the day. Oh my goodness, Kyle Webster's stream is so much fun. Please watch. He had sound effects last time I was watching. It was so serene. It was so beautiful. So come hang out for the draw along. Set a reminder. Turn your phone on. Oh, here we go. Wait, let's do this. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 2:25. Let's see if that worked for you. Hopefully that will set an alarm for you that you can tune back in to the draw along with Kyle T. Webster. And then at the end of the day, the design off with our friend Voodoo Val. And we have jetpacks and roller skates today. One of my favorite artists is here today. I'm so excited. I didn't know that was happening. He's an incredible artist. And while I have a minute, this is completely off tangent, but I want to plug jetpacks and roller skates so that you can get a vibe for what is going to be happening at the design off a little bit later today. Check this out. So it's just jetpacks and roller skates on social media, Instagram. Check out his style. It is so much fun. So you'll want to make sure that you come back again at the end of the day, 3:00 with Voodoo Val. That's going to be an incredible, fun episode. Make sure you tune in for that. I'll be there. I'll be hanging out in chat, having a grand old time. So thanks so much for hanging out today. I had a blast hanging out in Hawk's Gym. We'll be back again tomorrow with another daily creative challenge. And if you want to, we'll be doing this challenge again tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In Sydney, it is noon Sydney time for our friends in Australia. So if you want to join us for the Down Under stream, do that a little bit later tonight. And then I'll be live right after that stream at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for your challenge reviews. So come hang out, join us, and I will see you all tomorrow on our next daily creative challenge. Man, I thought I was going to nail that outro and I pushed a button that was not the right button. Tomorrow, I promise. I'll nail the outro for you guys tomorrow. See ya.